Many cultures have a different concept of fidelity than most of us, but there is a place in the world where husbands offer their wives as a sign of gratitude. A region with mysteries as surprising as the fact that the largest tsunami of all time occurred here, with waves hundreds of meters high, or having been the scene of one of the most devastating earthquakes in history. Perhaps this has to do with the fact that Alaska was the place chosen by the United States to carry out one of its most secret and mysterious projects. A project that many believe makes it possible to control the weather or manipulate people's minds. In this new video of Uncensored World, we will know in more detail the Inuit culture and the place where they live. One of the most inhospitable and icy, but at the same time beautiful and mysterious on the planet. Alaska, a place with such surprising curiosities as the one that as soon as you arrive at the house of an Eskimo family, the owner offers his own wife to spend the night with the new guest. Let's get started. Alaska, although many do not know it, belongs to the United States of America and is its largest state, although it is also the least populated due to being one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. But it is also a fascinating destination full of mysteries and curiosities that captivate anyone who visits it, as you are about to see. Located in the northwestern region of North America, Alaska is known for its spectacular natural beauty, its unique wildlife, and its rich indigenous culture, with traditions as out of the ordinary as the one that started this video. Its remote location and vast expanses of land make Alaska a unique and attractive place for adventurers and nature lovers. The climate in Alaska varies considerably depending on the region and time of year. In general, the state experiences long, cold winters with temperatures that can drop below 30 degrees Celsius in some areas. Summers are milder, but still quite cool as well, with temperatures rarely exceeding 20 degrees Celsius in inland regions. In the coastal areas, the climate tends to be milder due to the influence of the Pacific Ocean. Its nature is so wild and extreme that the most enormous tsunami in the history of mankind took place here. Thinking about it, we take the opportunity to ask you, how high do you think the most enormous tsunami ever recorded was? Pause the video and leave us your comment. We will love to read it, and by doing so, you help Uncensored World to continue working to bring you interesting content like this. So, thank you. The fact that some of the most extreme natural events in Earth's history took place here has a lot to do with the wild nature of this inhospitable region. For starters, it's good to know that Alaska has high seismic activity due to its location on the edge of the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. The activity between these tectonic plates is responsible for the frequent earthquakes and volcanic activity in the region. This reality has led to the occurrence here of one of the most powerful seismic events in recorded history. This was known as the Great Alaska Earthquake, also known as the Good Friday Earthquake, occurred on March 27, 1964, and is the most powerful earthquake in the history of the United States and the second most powerful in the history of the world. With a magnitude of 9.2, this earthquake is second only to the Valdivia earthquake in Chile in 1960, which reached a magnitude of 9.5. The Alaska earthquake lasted approximately 5 minutes and caused significant devastation, particularly in Anchorage. In addition to the destruction caused by the quake, tsunamis were generated, affecting areas as far away as California and Japan. In total, it is estimated that about 131 people died due to the earthquake and resulting tsunamis. But while you might think that this reality was what would cause the planet's most enormous tsunami we were talking about, that is not the case, as this story happened for a very different reason. The most enormous tsunami in human history is known as the Lituya Bay Tsunami in southeastern Alaska, a glacial bay located in Glacier Bay National Park and Glacier Preserve. This event occurred on the 9th of July in the year 1958 and is famous for being the highest in recorded history. You may have imagined waves of tens of meters, or even some that exceeded 100 meters, but the reality is, that this mega tsunami contained waves that reached the incredible height of 524 meters. This mega tsunami was caused by a massive landslide in Lituya Bay, also triggered by a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. The fall of approximately 30 million cubic meters of rock into the bay generated a shock wave in the water, which resulted in the most enormous wave ever recorded. The impact of the mega tsunami was devastating, although fortunately the bay was remote and sparsely inhabited. 2 fishermen died, and 3 others survived being carried out to sea by the wave. The geology of the bay, with its steep, narrow walls, amplified the height of the resulting wave. This event was studied in detail and became a classic case for understanding mega tsunamis due to accurate records and direct observations of survivors. As you may be observing, the combination of Alaska's high seismic activity and its unique geographic features have contributed to the occurrence of extreme natural events such as these. A reality that surely has a lot to do with the fact that the United States has been developing for years one of the most mysterious and obscure projects in the world, known as HARP. According to many voices, this project is able to control the weather and cause earthquakes like the ones that have already happened in this region, and even to control human minds. A project that we will soon talk about in more detail. But before that, we go back to the past and reality of one of the wildest corners of the planet. The name Alaska has its origin in the Inuit word alaksak, which means continent or big land. This name was adopted by the Russians when they colonized the region in the 18th century, and was later incorporated into English when Alaska became a territory of the United States in 1867. Alaska is accessible by air, sea, and land. Travelers can arrive by air through several international airports, such as Ted Stevens International Airport in Anchorage, the largest in the state. It is also possible to arrive by cruise ship through Alaska's numerous ports, or drive via the Glen Highway or the Alaska Highway from Canada. Although English is the primary language spoken in Alaska, the state officially recognizes 2 indigenous languages, Inupiaq and Gwich'in. These native languages have deep roots in Alaska's history and culture, and are spoken by indigenous communities throughout the state. Inupiaq is spoken primarily by the Inupiat in the Arctic region of Alaska, while Gwich'in is spoken by the Gwich'in in interior Alaska. Official recognition of these languages reflects Alaska's commitment to preserving and respecting the indigenous cultures that have called this land home for millennia. Alaskans, known as Alaskans, have a number of quirks and customs that distinguish them from other Americans. Due to their geographic isolation and unique lifestyle, they have developed a number of unique traditions and behaviors. One of the most striking curiosities is the celebration of the Frozen Chin Festival in the city of Anchorage, where participants compete to see who can grow the longest beard without freezing. This event, which takes place during the winter months, is a showcase of Alaskans' spirit of resilience and humor in the face of extreme weather conditions. As for Alaskan women, they are said to be as tough and courageous as the men, capable of surviving in the most adverse conditions. Many of them actively participate in outdoor activities such as hunting, fishing, and hiking, defying gender stereotypes and demonstrating their great strength. In terms of tourism, Alaska offers a wide variety of impressive tourist sites that captivate visitors with their natural beauty and diversity. Among these, the most outstanding are Denali National Park. This park is home to the famous Mount McKinley, the highest peak in North America. As a result, the place offers spectacular scenery that is often among the most photographed by tourists, as well as unique wildlife and plenty of options for hiking and nature watching. Tracy Arm Fjord. This impressive glacial fjord is located in southeastern Alaska and is world famous for its towering ice cliffs, floating icebergs, and crystal clear waters. It is a popular destination for boat tours as well as whale watching. Mendenhall Glacier. Located near the town of Juneau, this glacier offers breathtaking panoramic views, spectacular waterfalls, and opportunities for hiking and kayaking among icebergs. Another important fact you should know is that Alaska is one of the best places in the world to witness the stunning aurora borealis. Another of the best places is Iceland, and in the channel you can enjoy a video that we will also leave you in the description to learn more about what could be the most beautiful country on the planet. In Alaska, these dazzling, colorful light shows, also known as the Dance of the Spirits, are caused by the interaction of solar particles with the Earth's atmosphere. Clear winter nights in places like Fairbanks offer some of the most spectacular views of this celestial phenomenon, where lights dance across the night sky, creating an unforgettable spectacle for those lucky enough to witness it. If you visit Alaska in winter, it's good to know that every year, the city of Fairbanks celebrates the Ice and Snow Festival, an event that attracts visitors from all over the world. During the festival, artists carve impressive ice sculptures, which are displayed at the Fairbanks Ice Sculptor Park. In addition to the ice sculptures, the festival offers a variety of activities, including dog sled races, snowmobile competitions, and fireworks shows. If you plan to travel by car, you can't miss another of Alaska's most famous sites called the Dalton Highway, also known as the Trans-Alaska Highway, one of the most remote and challenging road arteries in North America. More than 666 miles long, this route winds through desolate and rugged landscapes, offering spectacular views, but also significant challenges for drivers. With unpredictable weather conditions, rugged terrain, and the occasional presence of wildlife, traveling the Dalton Highway is a unique experience that tests both the skills and adventurous spirit of those who venture along it. In terms of cuisine, Alaska offers a delicious variety of traditional dishes, many of which are influenced by Eskimo culture and local produce. Among the most popular foods are wild salmon, king crab, reindeer, and wild blueberries. A very rare and unique food that comes from the Eskimos is muktuk, which is the skin and blubber of the whale or narwhal. This is a traditional delicacy in many Alaskan Inuit communities and is eaten raw or lightly cooked. Muktuk is considered an important source of nutrients and energy in the harsh Arctic environment and is valued for its distinctive flavor and unique texture. It is certainly a unique culinary experience for all those who venture to try it. The indigenous tribes of Alaska are commonly known around the world as Eskimo, a term that has historically been used to refer to the indigenous peoples of the Arctic. The word Eskimo is believed to come from the Algonquian term ayaka me, which translates as raw meat eater. However, this word has been considered by some to be pejorative due to its connotation and the fact that it was used by settlers to refer to the indigenous peoples of the Arctic. In an effort to reassert their identity and avoid the use of a term considered offensive, many of these peoples, especially those in Canada and Greenland, have adopted the term Inuit. Inuit is an Inuktitut word meaning the people or real people, and is considered a more respectful and accurate way of referring to these peoples and their cultures. Inuit culture is an integral part of Alaska's identity that makes it unique and recognizable around the world. Their traditions and beliefs have been passed down from generation to generation over the centuries. The Inuit, who are the indigenous peoples of the Arctic, have developed a deep connection to the land and the environment, as well as a set of spiritual beliefs and practices that shape their way of life. One of the most important beliefs of the Inuit is the idea that all living things are interconnected and depend on each other for survival. This holistic conception of the world is reflected in their respect for nature and in their care not to overexploit natural resources. Hunting and fishing are fundamental activities in the life of the Inuit, not only as a means of subsistence, but also as an integral part of their culture and tradition. A culture and tradition that has helped them survive in one of the cruelest places on Earth. Hunting caribou, polar bear, seal, and other wildlife provides food, fur, and other materials essential for survival in the harsh Arctic climate. For both hunting and mobility, the Inuit and other indigenous peoples of Alaska make use of sled dogs. These dogs have been an important part of Alaskan culture and history for centuries. In the Gold Rush era, sled dogs played a crucial role in transporting supplies and delivering mail to the most remote regions of the state. Today, these dogs remain an integral part of life in Alaska. If you visit here, you can enjoy thrilling sled rides pulled by these amazing animals. Sled dogs include several breeds, with Siberian Huskies being one of the most common. These Huskies share similar physical traits to wolves, as both are descended from common ancestors. In addition, their team spirit and loyalty make them valuable companions for sledding, where they can travel long distances over difficult terrain. These Siberian Huskies are almost as important to Alaskan culture as its own inhabitants. Returning to the Inuit, spirituality plays one of the most important roles in their lives. They practice a unique form of shamanism that focuses on connecting with the spirits of nature and the spirit world. Traditional rituals and ceremonies, such as drumming and dancing, are used to communicate with the spirits and seek their guidance and protection. But perhaps the most striking characteristic of those who come to this place, even more so if they are not expecting it, is that if a man contacts an Inuit family and they invite him to their home, it is very likely that the husband will offer his wife as a gift as a token of hospitality. Probably those who arrive and do not expect it, even more if they arrive in couple, are not only surprised, but it can be very difficult for them to deny this Inuit hospitality, since many of these Eskimos can take the denial as a serious offense, being able to respond in the worst of the ways. According to the book The North Alaskan Eskimo, A Study in Ecology and Society, as soon as one arrives at the house of an Eskimo family, the owner of the home offers his own wife to spend the night, and if the visitor does not accept, it is taken as an offense that can even be paid with death. Surprising but true this fact. What do you think about this Inuit practice? Pause the video and leave us your comment. Doing so is the best way to help the channel, and we will love to read you, so thank you. And don't forget to leave a nice like if you're enjoying this video. This strange show of hospitality to visitors is done to anyone, as the Inuit consider it a privilege. They offer their wives, but it is usually up to them to decide whether they want to or not. Fortunately, Eskimo women are respected and valued for their ability to work, although it may seem strange to us how their partners respect their sexual freedom. The reason for this unusual hospitality seems to be that Eskimo communities are made up of a very small number of people, so these practices serve to increase the variety in their relationships and favor the perpetuation of their members. The Inuit not only lend their women to new guests, but also practice the ritual exchange of partners, although always for religious purposes and with the knowledge of their shaman called Angakok. In Inuit culture, the Angakok is an important spiritual figure who acts as an intermediary between the human world and the spirit world. These shamans have special abilities to communicate with spirits and perform rituals and ceremonies aimed at curing illnesses, predicting the future, and protecting the community. They are respected and valued for their wisdom and knowledge of the mysteries of the spirit world. Of the Angakok, their shaman. Shamans are very necessary in the life of the Eskimos because the Arctic is a place full of mysteries. Many Inuit legends have fascinated explorers and adventurers for centuries. A tradition of myths that explain the origin of the world, the creation of animals and other aspects of life in the Arctic. But it is important to know that the Inuit, while they are the best-known indigenous group in the Arctic region of Alaska, are not the only ones. The Yupik are another important indigenous group in Alaska, especially in the southwest region of the state. Like the Inuit, the Yupik have also lived in the Arctic for centuries and have developed a rich culture and traditions that reflect their deep connection to the land and sea. They are equally well known for their skills in hunting, fishing, and ivory carving, as well as for their colorful festivals and ceremonies. Both traditionally build ice houses, known as igloos, to protect themselves from the extreme cold. These ingenious structures are made of blocks of compacted snow and provide a warm and safe shelter in the middle of the frozen landscape. Although many Arctic communities today use modern dwellings, the art of igloo building remains an important part of Inuit and Yupik culture. Both Eskimo tribes are perfect hunters, and among their hunting habits, bowhead whaling has been a fundamental part of their cultures for centuries. These communities depend on whale meat and blubber for their livelihoods, and whaling is a ceremonial and spiritually significant activity. Although whaling is highly regulated today, it is still an important part of the cultural identity of these Eskimos. Eskimos with many mysterious and enigmatic legends like the ones you are about to learn about. One of the best-known myths is that of Sedna, the goddess of the sea, who is worshipped by the Inuit as the protector of marine animals and the source of all life in the ocean. According to legend, Sedna lives at the bottom of the sea and controls the supply of fish and marine mammals. The Inuit perform ceremonies and offerings to appease Sedna and ensure a good catch. Another popular myth is that of the Kalupiluk, a water spirit believed to inhabit the Arctic seas and abduct children who come too close to the water's edge. The Inuit warn their children about the danger of getting too close to the sea, using the story of the Kalupiluk as a form of teaching and protection. With the thought of uncovering one of Alaska's best-kept secrets, it's time to talk in more detail about what might be considered the most enigmatic activity in this region, a project known as HARP. The name HARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. This project is conducted in a research area located in Gakona, southern Alaska. Officially, the project is a collaboration between the U.S. Air Force, the Navy, the University of Alaska, and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, better known as DARPA. Its stated purpose is to study the ionosphere, a layer of the Earth's atmosphere that plays a crucial role in communications and navigation. According to official statements, HARP aims to improve radio communications and surveillance, and to develop new technologies for defense and homeland security. The facility has an array of antennas that can emit high-frequency signals into the ionosphere, allowing scientists to observe how these signals interact with charged particles in this region of the atmosphere. These studies, they say, are essential to better understand natural phenomena such as the northern lights and improve the reliability of communications and GPS navigation systems. However, according to some conspiracy theories and voices, HARP is much more than just a scientific research project. Some believe that these tests have developed technologies capable of controlling the weather, causing extreme weather events such as hurricanes, storms, and even droughts. These theories suggest that, by manipulating the ionosphere, HARP could alter global weather patterns at will. Another widespread theory is that HARP has the ability to trigger earthquakes. Proponents of this idea believe that the high-frequency waves emitted by the antennas can induce stresses in tectonic plates, triggering earthquakes in specific regions. Some even speculate that certain devastating earthquakes that have shaken Alaska could be related to HARP testing. Although there is no scientific evidence to support these claims, there are even those who believe that HARP could be used for mind control. According to these accounts, high-frequency signals could affect human brainwaves, allowing HARP operators to influence people's thoughts and behaviors. Although this idea has been widely discredited by the scientific community, it remains a recurring theme in conspiracy discussions about this project. HARP's remote location in Alaska, along with its nature and the involvement of multiple military and government agencies, has only served to further fuel conspiracy theories. The secrecy and lack of transparency in some aspects of the project have led many to suspect that there is much more at stake than is publicly admitted. Whether viewed as an advanced research tool or as an instrument of global manipulation, HARP remains one of Alaska's most enigmatic and debated projects. And we can't leave Alaska and its legends without including the legend of the Yeti, also known as the Snowman. Over the years, there have been numerous sightings and accounts of encounters with this mysterious creature in the vast and remote regions of Alaska. This being one of the places on the planet where more sightings are said to have taken place. It is certain that, if this mythical animal or monster, as some consider it, exists, it is more than likely that it would have chosen Alaska as its favorite dwelling, an eternally white place where camouflaging itself would be much easier than in any other place on Earth. While the Yeti's existence has not been scientifically confirmed, his legend remains an intriguing part of Alaskan culture and mythology. For some, the Yeti is a feared and mysterious creature, while for others it is a source of fascination and adventure. Whether real or imagined, the Yeti myth adds an element of mystery and excitement to Alaska's already intriguing history. Each year in Alaska, millions of salmon make an extraordinary migration from the ocean to rivers and streams to spawn. This natural phenomenon, known as the Great Salmon Migration, is one of the most breathtaking spectacles of nature on the planet, a reality that can only be enjoyed here. Alaska's rivers bustle with activity as salmon battle swift currents and predators to reach their spawning grounds. This mass migration is not only vital to the Alaskan ecosystem, but also attracts bears, bald eagles, and other animals that depend on the salmon as a food source. Another feature that makes Alaska unique and different is its volcanoes. With over 130 active volcanoes, Alaska is one of the most volcanically active regions in the world. These volcanoes are mainly of the stratovolcanic type, with steep cones and steep slopes, making them impressive and majestic, but also potentially dangerous. Volcanic activity in Alaska can pose significant risks to nearby communities and the environment, as eruptions can trigger lava flows, fiery clouds, debris avalanches, and the release of toxic volcanic gases. These events can endanger life and property, as well as affect air and water quality. But while volcanic activity can be dangerous, it is also an integral part of Alaska's natural environment, as are its legends and myths. As you have seen, Alaska is a unique place in the world, a region full of mysteries, natural wonders, and a rich culture that dates back centuries. From its breathtaking landscapes to its strange traditions and fascinating beliefs, this state offers an unforgettable experience for those who venture to explore it. At Uncensored World, we hope that this tour of Alaska's mysteries and curiosities has been as exciting for you as it has been for us. Thinking about it, and the effort it takes us to make these videos, we would love you to leave us a nice like and your comment. It is the best way you have to help us to continue bringing you the best content every week. From Uncensored World, we hope this video has helped you to discover Alaska, as you have seen, one of the most fascinating jewels of the planet. If so, do not hesitate to leave us a nice like and a comment. It is the best way to help us to keep working every week to bring you interesting content like this. Or like this video that you can watch now, to discover another of the most mysterious and beautiful places on the planet. Click on it and you will enjoy it.